Did the Apostle Paul really exist? We've heard about skeptical scholars who challenge the historicity of Jesus, but there are scholars who are challenging the historicity of Paul. How can we respond to this challenge? I'm joined today by Dr. Travis Campbell, who is a Christian scholar, to help us with this. Travis, short and sweet, how do we know that Paul was a historical figure?
Bottom line, he's multiply attested in the sources. Assuming for just a moment that Paul didn't write any of the epistles attributed to him, the question is, if you have a pseudonym or a writer writing under the pseudonym of Paul, why would the person do this? He would do this because he's been influenced by a person he knew named Paul who wrote letters. And the reason writing a letter in Paul's name would carry weight is because he was a known individual at the time. So even if we assume that Paul wrote none of these epistles, we have a strong tradition that there was a Paul who wrote letters just by the mere fact that the epistles are there. Along with that, we have the book of Acts testifying to Paul's existence. And most scholars, at least among those who were critical New Testament scholars who were skeptics about the Christian faith, believe that Luke was working with different sources than we find in the epistles. In other words, Luke is not reading the epistles and constructing a picture of Paul from them, but rather he's working off the traditions that are independent of those epistles. And whenever you have multiple independent attestation of an event happening, that increases the probability that it did happen. So there's absolutely no reason to think that Paul did not at least exist.